Hey, welcome to video 30. We're going to work on the video share, um, I guess feature, if you want to call it that. We're going to take a look real quick at YouTube to show you what I'm talking about. Things run a little slow, but that's because I'm on a low-power computer, which, good news, I guess I'm buying a new computer pretty soon. I don't know what to get, though. I've had a Chromebook forever, and I learned web development on a Chromebook in Cloud9 and stuff like that. Anyway, back to the point. So this share button right here, when you click on it, you get this little dialog. Okay, that's enough out of you. When you click on it, you get this dialog where you can share to all these different sites, and you can copy and paste the link to the video, or you can embed it. And you get this little copy to clipboard doohickey when you click that. You click embed. I guess it's going to give you the code for embedding the video on a website. And I guess an ad for YouTube TV, but basically you're getting the code to embed it on a website. We won't worry about that embed stuff just yet. We'll worry about kind of the basic features of that. So we've been messing around in the previous videos with the likes, dislikes, and views. If you have any problems with, you think your code is right, or you've copied the code, or downloaded the code, cloned the repo or anything, and things aren't working for whatever reason, you can always go to your MLab database and delete all the documents inside of it. Don't delete the database as a whole or anything like that. Just delete all the data inside of it, which is easy to do. You can do it with one click and start from scratch. And also keep an eye on your AWS bucket. There's no need to have videos in there. If you delete them from the database, you might as well delete your AWS, the contents of that video folder. Sometimes it just helps. Sometimes old data won't work with the new mutations, the new resolvers, the new operations we want to run on it. Might not work with previous data because that data doesn't, we added new fields to our model that the original data might not have had. So if you clear your database out, if you're running into errors, I just thought I'd mention that. In this video, we're going to use something called React Share. It's a package. I'll put a link to it in the README. So you want to first cd into the client folder. You go cd client, and then you run npm install -S react-share. And once you install that, we can use React Share to make life a little easier for sharing. But the first thing we're going to do is we're going to create a new folder called components in our src directory, and we're going to make a separate file for the share modal. We've been bunching a lot of code into one file. That's okay for now, but we might as well make a new file for this. And we can break all this stuff out into components and containers, and make it easier to work on in the future. And we'll be doing that down the line. In any event, in our share modal, we'll bring in React, and from React Share, we'll bring in share buttons and generate share icon. And then from material UI/dialog, we're going to bring in the dialog title, dialog content, dialog actions, bring in the divider, the button, and the text field. And dialog is just what they call a modal in material UI. You can find all this documentation for React Share on their GitHub page right here. But basically, they have a ton of icons at your disposal. We're just going to bring in Twitter, Facebook, Google, Plus, and Reddit. So you bring in those and say equal share buttons. Make sure you put the brackets around it. We're doing an object destructure here. And then for the icons, each icon you say generate share icon, and you follow it with a string. Call that function with a string, and all this information is on the page, as well as the props that you can put on each one, and then each specific button has optional props that you can put on it too. And we just have some styles here. And our share modal in our video.js, we're going to import the share modal from /components /share modal. And it's going to take some props. So we're going to send in props from our video.js into this. We're going to send open, handle, share modal close, a link to share, an onChange function, an onCopy function, and the title. So you just export default this function that's going to take in, and make sure you put the curly. We're just destructuring the props, and return it with parentheses, not a curly brace. We're do a direct return. When you put the parentheses there, that automatically returns this. It just saves us one line of code that says return really. So we have our dialog. And dialog, similar to any modal, has an open prop. When it's true, it's open. When it's false, it's closed. So we'll send in, video.js is going to control that. We'll send in that open. It's either going to be true or false. Handle share modal close is what you put on request close. This just handles the closing of the modal. And we're going to say it's full width. Dialog title is share. And in our dialog content, I just put a flex row. Basically, styles.buttons is just display flex. And inside this div is where we're going to put our buttons. And each button is going to take a URL. And that URL is going to be the link to share, which is going to be the URL of the page where the video is displayed. And then styles.link, we're just giving it cursor pointer and a margin. And we pop in a divider. And this text field is what's going to get copied. So we give it an ID of link text. Value is link to share. OnChange function is a basic OnChange function. Another divider, and then actions. Right now we have embed, and then we have a copy button, and we're going to make a copy function. We'll just start up the app real quick. The things we changed in video.js, we changed quite a bit. In video.js, we've added state. Don't worry about the copy snack bar yet. Share dialog open. That's going to be that open prop we talked about. And a link to share is going to be an empty string to start with. But in component to mount, we're going to set state. We're going to set that link to share. And just put in, you might put in local. I mean, when you're developing, if you're developing localhost, it doesn't really make sense. But since I'm developing on the cloud, this is going to be the address, of your running application /video and then /the ID, just like we have it, just like how we have it rendering. So in the next video, we'll take a look at how it looks, and I'll show you how to implement everything inside of the video.js file. There's quite a few changes we need to run down, but we can put it all into one video. So we'll start in the next video with the changes we put in.